Hello, everyone. It's time again. You know, I just got to give a warning. The smoke in Washington is causing my allergies to go because I am severely sensitive with all the health issues. So if you hear me sniffling or I pause because I got a cough, that's why. So let's talk because honestly, we got a lot of stuff going on in this video, but it will be a pretty short video. So starting out, drink time. Today, the drink of the day is by Duncan Mills Tea Shop. It is a Senso Sweet, full of flavor, really, I don't use this for tea very often, but it's very robust. I do overfill my bag by like half, and that's because I've noticed that as it sits, if you keep refilling with water, it loses flavor more so than some of the other teas I have. So definitely worth adding a little bit extra if you do what I do and make your own bags. But it's so full of flavor, doesn't give me a headache. It's really, really good. And of course, I put my special honey in it. If you're near the Anacortes location, there is a espresso stand called Strawberry Bay, and they have, I love the name, Bees by the Sea honey. It's $16 for a 22-ounce mason jar. Absolutely adore it. So let's talk about audiobooks. I don't have an actual copy, so I had to use the screen, and I'm really sorry because I just noticed it's going to be like that. So whereas I was going to go and have it up behind me in the placement here, because of that, I'm not going to. So I'm just going to turn it off. Willow Weeps by Molly Garcia. I really enjoy her books because the writing style is, it's not simple, but it's easy to read. The world building is pretty good. And crafts of the day. We're doing bookmarks. Her writing style is very easy to read. I feel that this is one of the few authors that is appropriate for both young adults and adults. She does get on some of the darker stuff. Like, I don't think I've done the review yet. I know I've written the review for Tales of Darkness Drive. It was actually one of the first books that I got from her. And I really enjoyed it. That one, yeah, when I do the review on that story, it's fun. If you have someone who kind of likes horror, but more so likes thriller, her books are perfect for that. Even this one, Willow Weeps, is along those lines, so I do have to give warning. This is about a child murder. It's all fictional, but I needed to give that warning. So, since the book's not here, I'm just going to put these here. It feels wrong to have it blank. There we go. So what Willow's Weeps is about is basically we have the psychic named Cleo, who, of course, sees dead people. So everyone tells her their story differently and in their own time. I loved the fact that Willow chose Cleo when she has nothing to do with her at all, or her brother. And that's the thing. Her brother feels guilty because when they were kids, they went to a fair, and he ended up letting her go off on her own. I think it was to use the bathroom. Because he wanted to hang out with his friends and didn't want to walk her. And that is when she disappears. And they know she's gone. I don't think they find her yet, but they know she's gone. So he has to live with that through his entire life. And his mom basically shuts down from grief. She's no longer a parent. He can basically raise himself. And, it took a really big toll on his parents' relationship. I feel that Molly portrayed that with class, but still gave a realistic expectation of what happens when a parent loses a child and just cannot function. I was very pleased to see that in the story. His mother turned this horrible negative into a slight positive. But we also got to look at how it changed the character and his relationship with his mother, which was basically beyond repair. So he ends up contacting one of his friends who was also there the day that his sister went missing. And he's like, we got to solve this. I got a daughter around her age now. I need to solve this once and for all. And his wife is very supportive. And she's like, yeah, you need to go do this before anything else. Like, they're going through a life change themselves. So she says basically to put this to rest. So the whole time, the brother and the friend are trying to find out what actually happened to the sister, which this happened like 30 years before this. Maybe 20. And they end up teaming up with a detective who I believe his name is Will. And they get a retired detective who I just love to bits. This guy, he'll sit there doing the crossword, grumbling because he's doing the crossword, but he's choosing to do it to keep his mind sharp. Now, they all don't believe that Cleo is actually seeing dead people. And while going through the story, it's funny because they have that moment of, we don't believe her, but we believe her, so we're just going to like sidestep here and we'll be back up for her, but we're going to let her do her thing. And it was hilarious because they ended up bonding and finding things out. And Cleo really, I feel her character got to expand on who she needed to be, which was good because this was book 1. So definitely needed that for her character development. In addition to that, I was interested in how Willow progressed as a ghost. Through most ghost tales, you don't really see an increase to that degree. And I don't want to say she took vengeance, but I do feel that she felt like she was getting justice. So that was a very interesting part in the story that ended up affecting a few different characters. And it was fun. Now, I will say this. I got the audiobook and Grant Love read it. Oh my gosh. You guys, I do not think Molly could have gotten someone better to read her books, honestly. Grant's reading ability and narration. My speaker fell off. Okay, let's try that again. Grant's reading ability and narration is amazing. I love the fact that he uses sound effects. I do want to give you a disclaimer. The sound effects in this story sometimes do override the actual story, so there were times where I had to turn it up to hear what was being said. Did not happen much, maybe twice, maybe. But it was enough that I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. I think this was Grant's first book for using the sound effects based on that fact alone. I do not have confirmation. Nobody said anything. I did not ask. That's just my personal belief. Because of the fact that the other books that he has read for her, amazing. Even with the sound effects, it just gets better every time. Now, I will freely admit, as someone who enjoys listening to people talk, Grant Love sounds like Sam Hughes. Like from Outlander. And the voice is just very calming. It's full of emotion. He has that perfect tone to get you on the edge of your seat. Like, oh, what's going to happen? And then, oh, that did happen. So I greatly, greatly enjoy listening to him talk. It's just a calming voice. I really like it. Plus, he has the Scotland accent and, getting to actually sit and listen to someone that has an accent like that, it's very entertaining. So, all in all, I gave the reading a 9 out of 10. I gave the book an 8 out of 10. And I really felt like the characters got closure. The thrill was there. I know she classifies her stories as horror, But honestly, I recommend them to anyone looking for thrillers because of the fact it's not going to give you nightmares. You're not going to sit there at night going, is it in my closet? And that's kind of what I personally feel horror is. Whereas her books are thrilling. They keep you on the edge of your seat. I really feel like they're appropriate for both young adults, so teenagers, and adults. The writing style is a perfect mix for it. And, you know, it's just like, I'm pleasantly happy with it. So with all that in mind, highly, highly, highly recommend going to Audible and getting the narrated tale by Grant Love. Check out some of his other books, guys, because seriously, I cannot rant and rave. This narrator is really good. I very much enjoy his voice and his tales. Go check it out. Go check out Molly's other stuff. She has a tons of books. If you have a kid or someone who wants to get into the thriller books but don't want to overload them, these books are perfect for that as well. And yes, she has series, but she also has standalones. I highly, highly, highly recommend, besides Willow's Weeps, there we go. A Tale from Darkness Drive, because of the fact it's a book that has multiple stories in it, so it will keep the reader no matter what. Go check it out. Like, subscribe. I gotta sneeze, guys. Bye.